It is a rainy day, so we thought we'd do some Q&A. We had been looking for years for property. We knew we wanted to get a property, probably with a cabin on it. We're not builders. So we knew we wanted something where we could go to be out in the woods, maybe live there when we retired. We knew we wanted that. We weren't at that point thinking about off-grid yet. It wasn't part of our, we just weren't talking about it. And but we knew we had been looking for years, and we had a list of requirements and a wish list that we wanted, and we just hadn't found anything. We wanted something that was within 2.5 hours of where we lived in the city, and we wanted to have at least maybe 10 acres, I guess. We wanted land. We wanted it to be some wooded, wanted to be able to garden. So all of that was important. And we also wanted to be able to pay cash. We didn't want to be in any debt. And so we just looked and looked and never found anything for years.
How we got the property is a very, very interesting story. We had, were on vacation. We had went up to Maine to visit one of my daughters that was living up there at the time, and then from there we went and spent a few days in Niagara Falls. And we're sitting in the hotel room in Niagara Falls, and I was just going through Facebook, and a friend had posted about a friend of hers that was selling some property and had a few pictures. And when I saw that, I immediately told Blue, when we get home, we have to go check this out.
I remember we were getting ready in the morning, we were in a hotel, and Craig said, oh my gosh, this is it, oh my gosh. And I'm like, what? And so then he showed me her post.
We contacted the lady that had this property for sale and immediately came down here, looked it over, and immediately made an offer on the property and bought it that day, because it was just exactly what had been looking for the last 3 or 4 years. We'd kind of been looking for some property, and this just ticked most of the boxes of what we were looking for, and it just worked out good. So Facebook came through on something, which it doesn't always.
And so we looked at the property, and it was rough, man. There was just like this little unfinished shack, and she had a shipping container, which was another thing. We had really talked about the idea of getting a shipping container and living in a shipping container. And so that was something we'd watched a lot of videos about how to do that. So that was something we were very interested in. So probably one of the biggest draws for us for this was the shipping container. And so we contacted her immediately. And then the next weekend after we got home, we drove down. It was about 2.5 hours away from our place where we live in the city, and gave her an offer immediately, and we bought it right away. And we have never regretted it for 1 second. We love this place, and it was rough. She lived here part-time by herself and had tried to build and just hadn't finished it. So the cabin was really just like an unfinished shack at that point. But it gave us a place to stay. Those first winters were freezing cold because there was no insulation, and but we learned a lot, So we started staying here every other weekend. We would come down and we would to stay and start cleaning the land, clearing off the land. And the land was completely raw. Nothing had been done. There weren't any trails. There wasn't a lot of land cleared. So we had to start doing all of that. And our one big problem was we aren't builders. And so we didn't know what we were going to do, because we don't know how to build, and we just don't have those skills. But we knew we were supposed to get this, and we didn't care. We were going to get it, and we would figure it out. And so we talked about, well, let's just watch YouTube videos. You can learn how to do anything on YouTube videos. So that was, I guess, what we were going to do. We talked about trying to find a builder, trying to find somebody to pay them to come and help us finish the cabin. But we're out in the middle of nowhere. We are 5 miles away from the closest paved road, and so, that's obviously causes a lot of potential problems. How do you get somebody to even come out here? So then we met our neighbors. And our neighbors are this wonderful couple, and they live about, it's about maybe a little less than half a mile away. Can't see their cabin from here, but they, you know, they are our closest neighbors. And and we have grown to love them. They are just wonderful friends now. But when we first met them, we found out that he is a builder, and he was looking for work at the time. And so, you know, one thing led to another, and we asked him if he would be interested in letting us hire him to build our cabin out for us, to finish it. And then, of course, we had other projects that we needed help with. And he said yes immediately. And he was excited to have the opportunity. He has a job now. He doesn't even have to leave the area where he lives now to do the work. And so that has worked out wonderfully. It's been a win-win situation for all of us, because this gave him the job that he needed at the time, and then it also solved our problem. And he's wonderful. He is a wonderful builder, and he's continued to build for us. He's built a barn for us now, built a wonderful fence around our gardening area. We later bought more property with another unfinished shack, and so he's finished that out for us. Now we're in the process of getting ready to build our bigger cabin that we are going to live in full time, and so we're talking to him about that. And it's so wonderful, because we'll just kind of tell him what we want, and then he starts working on it, and then we're gone back to our city house for a couple of weeks and come back, and it's like Christmas. It's like all this stuff he's been working and getting it done, and so it's just been wonderful. And then my husband Craig retires in April, which is 3 months away, and so after that we're going to be coming down here full time, and we want to live down here full time, and so we're getting ready for that. So we'll actually be helping him build this cabin. And hopefully we'll learn a lot. We don't want to just not know how to build. We want to expand our knowledge and skills in that area too. So yeah, I don't remember what the question was anymore, but there you go.